Alright guys, what we're working on today is this guy. Not keeping time and well, just not moving. So we'll check it out. I know I'm going to end up filing some contacts, cleaning those up, and we'll see about lubrication and cleaning and just see if there's any damaged parts or anything too. Yeah, I've never been able to fix one of these clocks before, so we'll see if this will be an exception to that. Here he goes. So what I did so far, just to catch you up, is I took it out of the dash, so that was just 3 Phillips head screws. That removed just to pull it out of the dash, and that was also, there's a little fuse on the back of that one, so I just disconnected it right there. That wire connects up to the power input on the back, which is that threaded stud right there that pokes through. So then to get it out of the case here, well, there are questions about that quite often. On each of the sides here, there's a little spot where it's been bent over on the flange just to hold it in, but then the kicker that people get stuck on is how to get the adjustment knob off. So as you can see on the 12, that's your slower or faster adjustment. That just pulls right out. But then you got this, and hopefully you can see it there, just threads right on the end of that. And it's a standard right-hand thread. So I just had to take a pair of needle nose and grip the shaft, and then I taped up a pair of pliers to grip the knob, which is this guy here. And then took a little bit of force. I mean, it's been on there for, well, since 1957 probably, but eventually I was able to twist that off. So then with that, with the flanges unbent, the power input nut taken off, and that's actually, you can see there's a star washer, and then the power wire lug, and then a nut there to hold all that together, and then here's the nut that I took off the face. So that gets us to this step. Now the next thing I'm going to try, and we'll see if you guys, let me see how well I can get this on video, is it's basically like a set of points in here, but there's one contact right there and the other contact right there, and when the spring winds down, it hits that other set of points, or contacts I guess I should say, and it repels it, kicks it back, and that's kind of how the clock works. So that's how it basically winds itself. Right now on this one, if I pull up, see if you can see that well, if I pull up the adjustment knob here and turn, then I can't really do it one-handed too well, but the hands all turn. So we seem to be free in there. I'm sure we could use a little lube, and you really should use like a clock lube. It's a little bit lighter weight than other things. So right now I'm going to clean up those points or contacts, and then just see if this thing fires off. Alright, right now I'm just trying to give you a better look at those contacts. There's the one in front of my finger, and here's the one on the spring. So there's the before. Here's the after. You can see just some clean metal there, and there's a bit of a depression on the inside. So I didn't try and file it all the way down to that or anything. I just filed this outer ring to where I've got some clean metal to deal with. And I just had a little file, one of these little guys, with my finger size for comparison, that came out of a couple of buck kit from Harbor Freight, I think. Alright guys, here's where I'm at. And at this point I've got the points to open, And then now with this little, oh boy, this is gonna be a fun video to make, right? With this little guy here, I don't know the right name for that, but it's a little tooth that grabs on. Then I can put some energy into the system here. Most of the time. Okay, there it goes. So now that basically gives us energy, stored energy into the system. And then I can come over, where the oscillation really takes place. And if there's any guys that actually know anything about watches and stuff, then you're gonna hate the terms I use and things. But I can hit this, and then you'll see we got a second hand moving. And I can keep doing that, and sometimes get 5 or 10 seconds out of it. But basically it eventually just kind of the energy dissipates, or the energy's still there, but it's not able to overcome the friction that's inside. So what I did was I actually used this little point of a screwdriver. There's a size comparison, with some lube, and lubed up just some of the bushings that were involved in this operation. So I lubed right there on this one, and then right there on the, I'll call it a regulator, I don't know, for that goes back and forth to keep that from just spinning freely. I did that top and bottom. Like I said, and I think I want to say there was one other in here that I found, but just lubing the ones that were kind of involved in making that action happen. And that got me from nothing to I can make it run for about 5 or 10 seconds. So at this point, I would say lube is not good enough. It actually needs to be cleaned. So I'm gonna have to decide if I feel competent to take this thing apart and put it back together to actually get it clean, or if I find somebody that actually knows what they're doing. So, but yeah, if you do lube things, it's not like the other things we do on cars. You don't need to lube all the every brass tooth and all that kind of thing. It's just these bushings, because it's pivoting in those. The brass is kind of made to wear on itself, so that really doesn't need that kind of a treatment. So yeah, just a little, very little bit will do you to try and free up these mechanisms. But yeah, I think I might have to shoot this one with maybe some electronic. Yeah, it might be worth a try. Shoot it with some electronic cleaner and see if that cleans them out, and then relube the bushings. That might be worth a try without taking it apart. So I think the contact cleaner was the ticket, actually cleaning out those joints instead of adding lube. Because now you can see the action down there is operating freely. It's going to eventually stop. Let's see if I can get a spot where you can see all that. There, you can see the action there. Those contacts are going to come to a rest on each other, which they wouldn't if I had this powered up right now. And then you can see everything come to a stop. And can't really do too many hands, but let me open that up again. All right, so I moved that those contacts apart again, that tooth grabs, and I didn't even start anything, and it's going. So with that space, let's see, I'll speed this up for you guys, but I've just Curious how long this will go till the contacts meet up again. The contacts are about ready to touch, so I got a minute or two out of it. Yep, and that came to a rest. All right. We got a clock. I've actually never seen a working clock on a 57 T-Bird, so that's kind of cool. Pretty happy with that. And guys, I should say this is what I was using to clean out those bushings. Just some electrical contact cleaner. So it's no residue and that kind of thing. So that's what I had on hand and what I used. All right, guys, like I said, pretty pleased with, this is my happy face. Pretty pleased with being able to fix the clock. And then next steps on that will be, we'll be using some fluorescent red on the hands, just some Q-tips and little mild soapy solution on the face. And then that actually should be ready to, ready to go back in. So like I said, pretty happy with that. Feel free to ask questions, but maybe somebody else in the network might be able to answer them a little better than I can, or certainly more professionally than I can. But good luck. Hope this helps with those of you guys that have some clocks that aren't working.